Welcome to Mucho TV, where we learn from one another and grow. My name is Janvier Nahimana. I'm with my special guest, Gilbert Tuhabonye. For those who don't know you, who is Gilbert Tuhabonye?
Man, it's hard to, Gilbert Tuhabonye, I was born and raised in Burundi, Africa, in southern province called Burundi. And when I was growing up, we didn't have water, electricity in the house. My daily routine would be to get up in the morning, go fetch water, and then after the water, I would run 6 miles to school. And I would stay at the school the whole day, and then at the end of the day, I would go home, and I would go also fetch the water again for the family. And I would go collect the cows, and that was the end of the day. Then when I was in the middle school, I passed an exams, national test, and I went to a boarding school called Kibimba, which was 7 hours away. And since 7th grade all the way to last year, I graduated. And I went to the university, and I grew up business faculty. But what happened was back in 1993, October the 21st, there was a coup d'etat. That day was very, very hard. I will never forget that life in my entire life. That day, a Hutu president was assassinated by the military. And in act of retaliation, the support of President Ndadaye came to my school. They were trying to kill every student, Tutsis, teachers they could find. We were roped together in a death march. They put us inside the building and set the building on fire. Luckily, I escaped after 8 hours fighting for my life. Then after I escaped, I spent 3 months in the hospital trying to heal emotional and physical, trying to understand how in the world that the people that tried to kill us, they were my friends. I knew them. I couldn't understand how in the world the president is killed and I had to become a victim. And so it took me a while to recover. Then something really strange, nice, I received a letter from Tulane University in America inviting me to run on a full scholarship because I was a great athlete. I was doing well in 800 and 400. So when I received that letter, something pushed me to the edge to do crazy things. My leg couldn't bend it. It was bent, I could not straighten it up. And when I received that letter, I was able to stretch the leg, and then I started sleeping, and then I started dreaming. I started doing the therapy, and then in 96, I came here on a student visa, also hopefully to compete in the Olympics. And after the Olympics, I did not go back. I stay home. I stay here in Georgia. And while I was in Georgia, I passed, exams to be admitted to American college. And I went to Abilene Christian University. And then after I graduated from Abilene Christian University, I moved to Austin, Texas, couple hours from Abilene. Since 2001, I've been in Austin, Texas, the beautiful city, best people, best place to run. It's been my second home. That's what I am with my wife and 2 beautiful girls, Emma and Grace.
Thank you, really, sharing your background. For those who don't know Burundi, can I just give the idea how is beautiful Burundi, how people are Yes, we know that you are a survivor for genocide. Um, Beside of that, also there is a community. There are people living there. Tell us about Burundi.
I would say Burundi is a beautiful place. I have been everywhere. I travel everywhere. I never find a place that I can really compare to Burundi. I'm trying to tell the Americans that it's like going to Hawaii, and we have a lot of bananas, trees. We have a good climate. We have a lot of rivers, and the weather is fantastic. The weather is not in the city. If you go, 10 miles, 15, you go, it's a beautiful weather is in Fahrenheit, I think 666 to 77 whole year round. I've never seen snow until I moved here in the United States. So food is awesome. People, beautiful people. The culture, the people really love to have fun. At least when I was growing up, we shared everything. We shared food, we share, you name it. And I miss Burundi.
How people can change, and is it only politics, or there is a ideology behind that?
I really don't know. I struggle a lot because when they said they're going to burn us alive, I could not understand. As you said, I grew up in a family where we treated everybody equal. Hutu, Tutsi, Twa, we all share when it comes to New Year or Christmas, we all share everything and we celebrate together. And to that school, again, it was different culture, different town, a different city. When they said they're gonna put us in fire and burn us alive, I thought they were joking, because as a young boy, I never seen anybody got killed. And I couldn't imagine that I was gonna be killed by the people that I know, the people that I trust, the people that I helped. And I was betrayed by my classmate, the people that I know, the headmaster. And when you send the kids to school, a boarding school, a headmaster is a dad, it's a mom, it's everything. And back in the days, we didn't have a cell phone. So you can imagine the headmaster is everything. So I was really betrayed by all the above. I couldn't understand. It took me a while to really understand. When it comes to the ideology or political, I really don't know what it is, but I hope that one day we can all think we all equal under God. We all equal, Hutu, Tutsi, and Twa. We all equal, and we can live in the peace, and nobody want to touch one another, and we can share enjoy the beautiful Burundi.
So I read on your T-shirt, I did it for someone in Burundi. Really, that's the meaning of forgiveness and compassion. The two words, what's that meaning for you, the forgiveness and compassion?
So, yeah, bad things happen. As you know, I was put in a burning building, and luckily I escaped. But a lot of kids died in that building. A lot of people died in that building. And when I escaped, and first of all, let me paint a picture so for those listeners so kind of understand how I got out. So when they put us in the building, and before you get inside the building, they will make sure they hit you on the neck. They were using some words they were not. They had a slogan, and again, this thing was planted. It was not happening overnight. And they locked the building and made sure that nobody escaped. After 8 hours, I broke the window. I used a dead body. I didn't have a choice, but I was worried that if I go outside, they would chop my head or they would kill me with spears, because they were so out there singing and chanting. Unbelievable. Then when I jumped outside, they didn't see me. Up to today, when I think about that moment, God was with me, gave me a chance to live again. And what should I do? The first thing that I did when I was in the hospital, I read the Bible, trying to find an answer. How can I heal personal? How can I really find a peace in my heart? How can I move on? And you cannot live a happy life full of joy if you have anger and hate. You have to clear your head. You have to learn, and forgiveness has helped me to move on my life and to do great things for other people. So I was able to meet the person who was in charge of putting us in the fire, making sure everybody that was in the fire was a Tutsi. I met him and I let him go. To me, to let someone who trying to kill me and go and live freely, that was amazing. So I can do anything now. So I was able to let it go and move on. I had to find running helped me. Running is my therapy. It's my freedom. When I run, my mind is clear. And so running has helped me to meet incredible people that inspire me to do great things, to start a foundation called Gazelle Foundation. That is the main reason is to give clean water to people. Do you remember how I told you earlier that I used to fetch water in the morning and in the afternoon? And that's how people live. And the water we're getting is contaminated because they share water with animals. So with the foundation, we were able to provide clean water, not in the house, close to homes. We have reduced the distance that people used to travel to get water, 4 kilometers, out and back, average to 400, which is 1 lap around the track. That is amazing. And so I did for someone in Burundi, it is a shirt that we give to every participant that come to the race. And the race is to raise the funds, to raise the money, and the money goes to help someone in Burundi. We create that connection. You run a race, you're changing a life for someone in Burundi. And people wear this with pride. So that's where that compassion comes from, to help others. And it's been a great experience. It's joyful to see a transformation of a village.
Tell us about the meaning of running for joy, with joy.
Yeah, running with joy and for joy is, I ran, as you know, I ran to school. I ran to save, to do what my parents were asking me to do, whether it was to fetch water, to go to the market, to get anything they want. Actually, I have a nickname called Tumagu, which is, I used to, when I grew up, we didn't have paved road. It was all dirt. And when I would go running, and my grandma came up to that name, it's like, hey, Tumagu, he's gone. We don't see anything. We see dust. So here's my name, Tumagu. So I ran to survival mode, to do what my parents wanted me to do. It was a way of life. Then there was a time that I really, really ran for my life. There was a time that I was put up to death. I was put up in a burning building. I had no choice to run besides surviving, get out the building. Luckily, I escaped and survived. I made to the United States. I established a good foundation. I established a good training runs. That running for fear, that running to survive, it's over. Now I run with joy. I have found joy. When I run, my mind is clear. you know, here we're so busy. We go from here to there. We're always in a run. We don't take a time to appreciate and to pause and reflect. So running with joy allows you to clear your mind. You do because you love it. Because if you don't like it, it's either you're gonna quit or you are going to stop. So running with joy, you gotta enjoy what you're doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. Running is a part of my breakfast. I don't eat a breakfast before a run. That's how the joy have instilled in me. And so you gotta enjoy what you're doing so you can do, so you can keep going. Otherwise, you lose it. And once you lose it, you lose the motivation. So joy first and everything will follow. And that's where the run with joy come from. When it comes to the chant you were talking about, Yongwe, when I was back in the city, even in the village, my Kibimba High School, or in the Bujumbura, the university, when we were training, like a long run on a Saturday, we would sing. It's always a song about the lion, and it go, Iyongwe tuyisik, Iyongwe ngiya himbere, Iyongwe ngiya hinyuma, Iyongwe tuyisik, Iyongwe zahimbe. So really, it's to help. First of all, there's a rhythm, right? We were trying to get everybody getting engaged. There is a rhythm, that breathing, every two steps, Iyongwe. So there is a trick. So you breathe in, but at the same time, we're telling jokes, we're attacking one another, and it's all fun. So I still use that in the teaching. The people love it and find it motivational.
Can you give us just some accomplishments as runner? Because I checked on some website that show your accomplishment. It's unbelievable. So from Burundi, from Olympic Games, to be one of the best trainer for Austin, Texas, tell us about your journey.
Man, that's when it comes to my accomplishment, I've done a lot. I've done things for myself. Before I found Run with Joy, I was very competitive. I ran in the college. In Burundi, I ran for my school. I ran for my club. I learned for my country. I represent my country overseas. And right now, again, that Running with Joy, I don't have to worry about competing, because when you stress about competing, there's no fun. There's no fun. And so I've done a lot. You're talking about medals. And one of the things that I'm happy and proud is what I've done is to provide a clean water to villages. Right now, we have given more than 100,000 are getting a clean water close to homes. You know, we have changed the whole county. Everyone, every Hutu, every Tutsi, every Twa, no tribal specific are getting clean water. To me, that's a huge, it just brings such joy to watch and witness people, kids going to school, they become better educated, they are in the class, they follow because they're not exhausted. We have a water in the school, we're in the hospital, water on the way to school, kids they can hydrate it in the classroom. Women, they spend hours and hours fetching water. Now they don't. They have to focus on what they do best, which is to improve productivity. They don't have to waste hours. Their health has improved. Animals, cows, sheep and goat, all those, they're drinking the clean water. It's something that I really am proud of amongst the other stuff that I have done, because really the chapter that I'm on right now, it's amazing to see a transformation of a society. It just brings such joy.
It's not easy to do because you need also to get people supporting you. Uh, when we look up about the running for Water Burundi, this marathon, how many thousand people running for supporting Burundi? How did you make this connection? How did you mobilize people to join you in this support for water for Burundi? It's not easy. It take time, and it need to get people around you who help you to make it happen. I remember the first time I met you, you shared a story with me about how you have been selected in 100 sport heroes in US beside Mohamed Ali. Can you share that story to us?
Oh my gosh, you have a good memory. One is, first, let's talk about the highlight of Mohamed Ali, who was my hero. When I was growing up, Mohamed Ali, Cassius Clay was my hero. And, excuse me, when I was selected, when I won a national championship back in '99, the camera were all over me, looking a kid who's burned, has a lot of burns in the back and legs and arms. And they started getting curious of what happened to me. And at the beginning, I didn't want to share my story. But that time, I was able to share the story, and the story I ended up being at the White House. I ended up getting nominated to go to the White House and voted the most courageous student of the year. I was awarded to go to the White House to meet Bill Clinton. And then to meet Mohamed Ali at that year. He was the athletes of the century, and I was the athletes of the year. And I would never forget, when I met him, he asked me to sign autograph. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I almost peed in my pants, because this is like someone you want to be, someone you dream to be. And asking me autograph, man, I didn't know what to do. Then I came back. So come back to Austin. I'm always positive and look for the future and work hard, and things will come to you. To start the running in Austin, run for the water, again, people here in Austin, as soon as they know what happened to me, everybody will be like, especially when the book, This Voice, My Heart, came out, they're like, how can we help? I will go to churches, tell the story about Burundi, how beautiful is Burundi, and my experience. And people will be like, how can we get involved? I had to come up to something to let people do. And the foundation is one way. And through the foundation, we host this Run for the Water race. It's a really well done. We have a professional team. We hire professional teams that help put the race. It's a top notch. It's one of the best race in 10 miler in the country. And to make that connection, runners, when they finish a race, we did a survey. We asked them, why do you run the race? A lot of people said, we run the race because we love their mission. Simple human right, water, to give someone a water for life. It was a very compelling mission. Then over the years, we have built credential. We were able to show what we've done. When the people see results, and that's what drives me, results, they will support you. And so T-shirts like this, people, I mean, I cannot tell you how many people wear these T-shirts on a lake, on a running, because it has meaning. They are done great for themselves to complete a race, but also they change for life for someone. It's powerful.
Yes, it's really interesting just to share a story like that to our community. So let's go now to the book. You was a sportsman. You are not the one who was dedicated to write books. How this idea started, and it's really well written. I read the book, and also I was surprised to see that book, you can find it in our library here in Halifax. So how this uh, journey started just to be author?
I would say I'm always lucky. What happened was, after people find out that I have a story, you know, 2003, a group from Hollywood read my story, and they came straight after they read the story in Texas Monthly. That was before the book. They came out, they're like, you have an incredible story. We'd like to make a movie. I'm like, a movie? What, a movie? I was not ready for a movie. So I started asking help, advice, and the people suggested a book would be first, and then we'd do a movie. And I'm fortunate enough to have great, what I call friends, that I can talk to about anything, and the book would come out. They asked me to write a book, and it was not easy. I was not ready, because when the people write a book, they start planning at a young age, or they started planning what's going to be chapter 1, what's going to be chapter 2, 3, and so on. It's something you plan for a long time. But for me, it was a mental drainage. It was really hard because I had to relive the story. I had to relive, again, the moment being in a fire, and that was hard on me. And I'm glad I did it, because through the book, I'm able to reach a bigger audience. I'm surprised you have the book in your library. Invite me to sign autograph. I will be more than happy to.
I will speak to the CEO. She's on Mutual Radio 2 weeks ago. She gave me an interview. Yeah, human rights or library to invite that to share message, because we have a great universities here in Halifax. So the audience is there. So it may never know.
Yeah, I was just joking. It's just a privilege to see the book in a library. It's a privilege. I hope that the book inspired and touched many lives. And so people can learn not only about what happened, but also learn the beauty and the culture that is in Burundi.
How we can pass this message, never again, to next generation?
You know, it's really hard. It's really hard because we keep saying never happen again, but it's happening every day. It is so sad to see and to watch. But my message to youth is, young generation is, number one, always work hard. Work hard and do the right things. Work hard and never give up. And that's what I tell my children, never give up. Because look at me. I was in a fire, the building was on a fire, I didn't want to give up. And I am here for a reason, to testify to what happened doesn't happen again. So they're trying to kill me, but God had another plan. So number one, never try to kill anyone, only a human being. Always preach peace, always love one another, love your neighbors like you love yourselves. And if somebody does something bad to you, forgive them. Move on. That is what happened. I'm able to move on because of I let the thing that are holding me back, so I can focus on my life, so I can focus on the good, what God gave me to help others, to be the voice for the others. By the way, there's a voice in my heart. The voice has a meaning. There's the reason it's called the voice. V stand for victory over hatred. all for peace. I instill courage. And C, commitment to make a difference. And E, educate the new generation. So whatever happened, it doesn't happen again.
How coronavirus impacted your activities for sports outside?
You know, running is probably one of the best sports that you can still do, especially running outside. I would say I had not had enough, like a huge impact, because of people are able to run outside. You know, instead of running in a big group, yes, it might affect our run for the water race in November. Other than that, people still running. They need to exercise for mental state. And running is the best way to help channel that, you know, get the, clear the mind, clear the heads so they can be, you know, happy and be in a good mental state. And so they're able to running. I'm still doing it. I'm still doing the running. It's just a big event that's races. You can't run. You can be in big, more than 4, maximum 10 people, but they're still doing it. You just have to find another way to do it. Instead of meeting as a big group, you let people, few at a time, 4 people at a time, just to make it work. People need to run. Otherwise, they're gonna have mental breakdown. And so running is a vehicle that helps you clear the head. Yes.
What, just to end our conversation, what's your next project coming? Because you have too much to do with the Gazelle Foundation, Run for Water Burundi, and all the projects you are doing. What is next?
You know me, I'm always in the move. I'm always like, what's the next? What's the next? Yeah, I would like to tell you that for those listeners that have any idea where we're talking about in terms of what the Gazelle Foundation is doing, we started in a commune called Songa, and we gave water to the whole county, the whole commune. It's getting clean water. Now we are probably a third in commune of Matana. We start another commune, and the work is still going on. We are giving water as we speak, and hopefully, if the corona doesn't get worse, and we are hoping that we're going to keep providing clean water to villages in Burundi. We're also still planning Run for the Water, and Run for the Water, we have in 2 options, virtual and in person. And that is my call to you, friends. Virtual, you can do it. Whatever you might be in Canada, whenever you might be in Europe, in Africa, you can still do it just to make a difference on somebody. Remember, every runner changes a life for someone forever.
So can you share some contacts that's needed just to know how to be in contact with your project, website, connection, how people can stay in connection with you if even they are out of US, and also if there is another way, maybe if you sell t-shirts online that you can deliver to people, let us know how people can be part of the change.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, for Run for the Water, we have runforthewater.com or .org. That's where it's going to be the sign up, and we have the Gazelle Foundation.org. That's the main page. That's where you can find projects, where you can see what we're doing. We're trying to put everything that we're doing. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Gazelle Foundation. And in terms of t-shirts or buying books, buying this Voice My Heart in the books, you're contributing, because every dollar it goes to bring a clean water. In terms of t-shirts, yes, we can always, if you request one, we can always. I also, for the club, for the Gilbert Gazelles, I have tons of t-shirts with Run with Joy. If you want to run with joy, I'll send you some.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So yeah, we are really happy to get you on our show, and we send you our love and our support, and we encourage you to go far and far, because it's important that even as Burundian, I'm proud to be your brother. So we're gonna try to share your message. We remember when I did what I can with our community here. We organized the International Women's Day, and at that time I was thinking about women in Africa that are struggling for water. So it's why I did what I can. I sent you a small check just to be part of the change. So we're gonna try that to organize. Now I have been recognized by the Halifax mayor to organize the Peace One Day. Last year it was successful in front of the City Hall. This year, maybe just because there is a coronavirus, but we're gonna fight to speak about peace. And at that time, I will try just to emphasize about your message. And thank you very much. Say hi to your family, and we'll be with you all the time. We will share all this communication. When it will be on the social media and our website, we will share with you and share with your community. If anytime we need to share a message, try to call us, and we will be with you all the time.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and I decided that to keep my radio with the name of Mucho.
Yeah.
Mucho, can you explain, you are Burundian, what the word Umucho, that means
light.
Culture, tradition, and light. This word is very heavy word. So we need to continue also to show that we have really a culture that we can share and we can learn from one another.
True. Umucho, which means the lights. It's not just the lights coming out outside. The lights, when they said you have a mucho, it's powerful. It's powerful, as you said. It's beautiful. That means you have a good culture. You have a good spirit. It's, you name it. I'm so happy and thankful that you invited me on your show.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.